Welcome back, sleepers of the Arrakis Sands, to another quick guide on how you can successfully navigate the deep desert and end up spice rich. Now that many of you are getting your hands on a carrier and a sandcrawler, you are primed to start rolling in that spice. Today we will discuss not only the best way to harvest medium spice fields for maximum return, but also how to complete them without triggering a single worm breach and avoid those nasty PvP goblins out there trying to kill you. That's right, thanks to my man Dozer, all credit goes to him on this one. A scientific method has been tested and proven to work over and over again. Now, before jumping out into the sands, a few very important things need to be prepared, along with a few optional add-ons to make this journey safer and, of course, quicker. Now, you should always be carrying water and a welding torch with wire because those two are just needed in case you break down or you are just gonna die of thirst. And you should also have 3 points in the Sandcrawler Yield skill inside of Planetologist. This is just to maximize the amount of sand that you will be getting. In this video, I only have 2 out of the 3, and it's because I was testing to see exactly how much less we were going to get by doing so. Now, of course, there is some optional gear for optimization. You don't need any of these to complete the fields with this method, but they will help. And first of all, a still suit, because you need water and it's the best way to stay out there as long as you possibly can. And then any soft step boots. Now, soft step boots come in different varieties, but if you notice, they all have the same degree of percentage of reduced worm threat, all at 45%. So any of them will work. You don't have to necessarily build the best ones. You just need some just in case. Now, the dampening sandcrawler treads, upgraded Regis Spice container, and a Walker Sandcrawler engine MK6 are also extremely great. However, if you have not gotten these blueprints, don't worry about it. Nothing is going to change. All that these really do is help you stay out on the sand longer, collect more and faster. However, they are all very unnecessary. If you do get them and you have enough spice, which you will by the end of this video, you should though think about adding them in there because it's always best to have the best. Now, before we begin this method, there are 3 exceptions that we need to mention to everybody so that they don't get thrown off by something that they're not expecting. First of all, avoid PvP zones. This is obvious, but stay below the E row. If you're going above the E row, there's lots of medium spice fields up there as well, but you're also running the risk of those PvP goblins coming out and gobbling up your ship. Next, never harvest while somebody is compacting around you. Static compactors are literally worm aggro tools. You might as well just drop a thumper out in the sand because a worm is going to be breaching every chance it gets if you and a compactor are on the same grid. So if you see people out there compacting, try to find another place. If someone comes out while you are collecting the spice, ask them to leave. Compactors will ruin your day faster than you can think about it. Finally, watch out for strange worm activity. Now, this is a very minimal thing that happens at times, but there are some areas that just have very strange worm pathing. If you see a worm actively squirming its way through or in close proximity to the medium spice fields that you are targeting, it will breach no matter what you do. So if you're seeing it go through the spice field, or if you see it just like revolving very, very close to it, you are not going to want to do the spice field because, like I said, the worm is going to breach no matter what you do. And for me, I've done so many of these now that you literally only find 1 out of 20 or 30 medium fields that actually have this strange pathing. But if you drop it and didn't realize it, don't panic, right? Just get out, get to your carrier, pick up your sandcrawler, and then just take off and go to somewhere else. You usually have a good, 15 to 30 seconds to get there and do it. You don't have to be scared. You'll have enough time to save your crawler. But once again, keep an eye out for these 3 things because all of them will make your adventure a heck of a lot less enjoyable. Now, once you spot that medium spice field, what you're going to do is carry the crawler and find the flattest surface attached to the plume. You're going to set the crawler down and park the carrier right next to it. This is always going to be on the outside, the edge of the plume itself. Now, make your way around the outside edge exactly 2 times. Now, this is crucial. We've tested this and we found that you get a worm breach soon after continuing more than 2 times because that's a very long circle that you are taking around the edge of the spice plume. So if you continue, you might get 1 more lap if you're lucky, or you might only get halfway around, and then you got a long distance to travel to try to save your sandcrawler. So on your second lap, make sure that you stop. Get in your carrier, pick up the crawler, and just hover above the sand until the worm aggro line disappears. Notice the worm aggro never turned orange, never turned red, but I'm just going to let it disappear. Now, once the aggro line is gone, you're just going to set the crawler back down, park, and then this time you're going to do 3 full laps. Now, pick up your crawler again and wait for the aggro line to vanish once you're done with these 3 laps. And as a pro tip, as you move closer to the center, the spice starts to get thicker. So you will notice some spice is still left on the ground. You will want to kind of overlap your current path with the next line of spice so that you're getting every single grain of spice out there. So just make sure that you're trying to get everything that you can. Don't worry, 3 laps, you'll get quite a bit on this one too. Now, after the 3rd lap, we are going to pick up again. Now you're going to start noticing that once you set down and that aggro has disappeared, that you might be able to get 1 lap, maybe 2 laps more in the circle, but then you'll start to see that it's getting too difficult to continue in circles. At this point, no problem. You will just start vacuuming up the remaining spice using front to back lines until the field is completely cleared. Now, the final move is do not get out of your crawler and walk back to your carrier. You're probably going to be safe. However, remember that sand crawlers actually make less vibration than your footsteps out here. So it is much better idea just to drive the crawler back to the carrier, then pick it up and go. And hey, notice how no worm breaches occurred on this video. This well-tested strategy helps you keep your stress levels down and turn spice farming into a tranquil activity. To add the spice on top, you should be collecting around 17,000 spice if you have 3 points in the skill. Subtract 2,000 for each point that you are missing. Toss that into a large spice refinery, and we are talking about 300 spice every 10 minutes of harvest time. Not bad, huh? No PvP worries, no worm breaches to make you poop your pants, and spice for days. Thanks for sharing this time with me, and I hope everybody becomes super spice rich. Also, if you are looking for a home after the server mergers take place, join the Birdhouse Discord and coordinate with our family to help you find a spot in the future merger homes. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.